Hi, my name is Jake Hartsock, and this is my wife, Courtney Hartsock. We have 5 children. We have Cooper, who is 10 years old. We have Braxton and Sutton, who are twins, who are 7 years old. And we have Presley Love Hartsock, who is 5 years old. And we have Harper Florence, who is 5 years old. When we went to Haiti for the first time is when God began to open my eyes to the nations. He began to open my eyes to His heart towards adoption. And I began just to, as God would speak, I just began to say yes to the next thing He put in for us. And then eventually it came up, an opportunity that Courtney and I got into a conversation, and I just felt like God said, will you say yes to what's on my heart? And I knew what was on His heart for us was that of adoption. He'd put it in her from an early age and began to soften my heart and open my eyes to the dreams that He had for us and what He was speaking. And so we went through the process and said yes. And so when we got the paperwork for the first time that said, here is a 4-year-old girl from Ghana, it really opened our eyes, and immediately we said, this is our child. It doesn't matter what their background was, it didn't matter what their health was, it didn't matter what their circumstances were. We felt like God immediately said yes. I mean, there was just a peace in our heart that this was the daughter that God was giving us to raise and to speak truth in, to speak identity and hope in, and to give an amazing opportunity to thrive in a relationship with Jesus.
After we decided to pursue adoption of Harper, we faced many obstacles. Jake and I traveled to Ghana for 8 days to spend that week with Harper, also to go to court, meet her family, do all of those things. When we left, we signed papers and the court approved them that said she was actually ours. But because of government regulations, we needed the U.S. Embassy's approval to bring her into the United States. We thought it might be 30 to 60 days, but it ended up taking almost 4 months before we were able to go back. Because we only had to go for 24 hours, I actually made the trip by myself. And when I got off the plane on U.S. soil to see all 5 of my children together, Jake holding Harper again in his arms, it was unbelievable to experience just all of our family, the thing that we had dreamt about, the thing that we had prayed for, the thing that God had orchestrated come together was amazing. And God was so kind to include us in on the process. Before we ever got a referral for Harper, her name was Florence, but He gave us the name Harper Eden. Harper just being as King David played the harp before Saul, and an atmosphere completely changed, that she would be one who completely changed atmospheres. And then Eden being a place of peace and a place of great delight. But then when we saw her name, we said, of course. So her given name was Florence, which means to bloom. And just even God's prophetic promise on her life, when she was planted in a place of stability, that she could be nourished and grow, that she would bloom into all He has created her to be. So Harper Florence Eden joined our family 5 months ago, and our lives will never be the same.
From day one, when we got Harper back, it was such a adjustment process for us and for her. Her just dealing with so many emotions, so many unfamiliar things. But the problem with her was that she didn't understand, and there was a language barrier, and there was problems with it. And so anything that they did that she didn't like, she would slap them, and she would hit them, and she would, and our kids would just look and say, Mommy and Daddy, she hit me, she slapped me, and they never hit her back. And there was so much grace. God was so good during this beginning process.
But we have seen her develop from an insecure, timid, sad little girl into a confident little girl that loves to love people, loves to receive love.
There is so many things that I love about Harper. I love how she appreciates the small things in life. More than anything, I love her laughter. She has been a girl that is overwhelmed with joy. I love how she can wake up and wants to put plastic high heels on. I love how she loves to dress up.
But she is beginning to have a heart for God and His people. She told me a few weeks ago, the only time I ever want to go back to Ghana is to tell them about Jesus, because they did not know. And we are just excited to see this little girl, barely 5 years old, that God has made Harper Florence, and He has knit her into our family, He has put a call upon our life, and He has given her purpose.